All right. Hello, everybody. How are you? Then here I am again with another topic on protozoa, specifically too. Today we shall see about the fourth group, the fourth group of protozoa, the sporozoans or the apicomplexans. You know this? You know this? These are nuisance, really. These are the most deadly species of protozoa are found in here. Totally, they are parasitic. Parasitic not only to humans, but also to our domestic animals, even the poultry. They are destructive to poultry industry. And therefore, today we shall see about Sporozoa or the apicomplex. And I'll tell you why this group of protozoa, which are known as sporozoans, are known as apicomplexa. They do have a unique set of organelles and cell structures that are complex, highly organized in order to allow the organism penetrate into the host tissue. This is adaptation for parasitism. Apical complex, I will show you. First, let's go to features or characters of Sporozoa. Sporozoa is a large subphylum consisting of many unicellular intracellular parasites at some stage in their life cycle. They are single-celled. At some stage in their life cycle, these organisms enter and multiply inside living cells as if they are viruses. You see? Viruses are obligate intracellular parasites, we say. This one, at some stage in their life cycle, they go into the host cell for multiplication. Therefore, they are partly intracellular parasites. Shape of cell maintained by pellicle. They do have external calcified crystals which give them shape. It's not cell wall. It's not rigid cell wall. Just to provide structural support from the external surface. There are pellicles which give their definitive shape. Locomotion is by gliding or twisting. We can say the adults glide or twist in fluids. Otherwise, generally speaking, they don't have locomotory structure, the adults, except that some larval forms may produce flagellated gametes or amoeboid gametes or reproductive cells for sexual reproduction, of course. Asexual and sexual reproduction is common here. Even they do have alternation. They alternate from sexual into asexual or asexual into sexual. And all are intracellular parasites at some stage in their life cycle. You see, all these groups, sporozoans or apicomplexa, they do have intracellular stage in their life cycle at some part of their life cycle. Currently, the group is suggested to contain over 65,000 species with varying morphological features or characteristics. Cellular shapes, cellular features differ. 65,000, huge and really diverse group. And they are all what? Parasitic. The common feature of all members is the presence of unique system of organelles, as I have told you earlier, called apical complex in the anterior region of the cell. I will show you. I do have a picture here to show the apical complex. And certain enzymes. Enzymes are also found associated with the apical complex, which enable the parasite to penetrate and enter into the host tissue or host cells. While some multinucleated forms have been identified during the life cycle of these organisms, they are generally uninucleated. Generally uninucleated. Unlike the ciliates do have dual nuclei, two nuclei per se. In this case, generally speaking, they are uninucleated. As the name suggests, the great majority of sporozoa produce sporozoids. The great majority of sporozoa produce sporozoids at a given point in their life cycle. Of course, these are the infective stage in their life cycle. Not common for all, of course, the majority. This is the motile and infective form of the organism that causes disease in the host. You see, sporozoids are forms of cells which are motile and infective form. The sporozoa have no locomotory structure and are not motile in their mature forms. This is a redundancy, of course. Some do have gliding or twisting cells, we can say, generally speaking, as adults when they reach adult cell stage. They don't have structure for movement. Reproduce both sexually and asexually and often have complex life cycle for transmission from host to host. And this is a diagram or the picture that I wanted to show you earlier. Told you, you see at the top, the apex, at one pole of the cell, there is a complex arrangement of cell structures, organelles. This set of organelles are together known as apical complex. And what is the role? Together with the associated enzymes, they play a significant role in penetration of the host tissue, host cell, so that they can enter into cells, multiply when they are intracellular, or come out of cell and extracellular form. Therefore, this complex apical structure is a special adaptation for this group, which is common to all. That's why they are known as apicomplexa. They have apical complex for penetration. Since they are all parasites, they all contain this apical complex. The majority of these organisms are also characterized by a complex life cycle that their life cycle involves two hosts, vertebrate host and invertebrate host, and also alternate from sexual and asexual stage. Here they multiply sexually, then they multiply sexually in the other host, of course. Therefore, you can say alternation of host. They do have alternation of host. They change host. And also alternation of generation. Sexual generation, asexual generation. Again, sexual, asexual. This is a unique group because all members are parasites. What makes unique is they are all parasites. Imagine when you compare this group of protozoa with ciliates. From ciliates, only one species, Balantidia coli, remember, is parasitic. The others are free-living. When it comes here, there is no free-living form. They are all parasitic to humans, domestic animals. The group includes parasites causing diseases such as malaria, cryptosporodiasis, toxoplasmosis. These are fatal, of course, serious fatal diseases. Especially malaria is #1 killer in the tropical and subtropical regions, including the sub-Saharan Africa. These are cellular forms. Different forms of cells at different stage in their life cycle. You see? Okinate, sporozoid, merozoid, these are common in these different species of sporozoans. Now we shall go to the prominent, as far as medical aspect is concerned, the medical importance of this group of protozoa, since they are all parasitic. What are the prominent apicomplexan protozoa that cause disease, or apicomplexan disease caused by apicomplexa? Apicomplexa causes several widespread diseases in humans and other animals, and the most common, as far as this section is concerned, to be discussed are malaria, cryptosporodiasis, toxoplasmosis, babesiosis, These are the four that I want to briefly discuss hereafter as major apicomplex and diseases, starting from malaria, of course. Plasmodium is a causative agent of malaria. The parasite is Plasmodium, and the disease, is transmitted by female Anopheles mosquito. Plasmodium species, it says, infects hundreds of millions annually and leads to many diseases, particularly in the tropical and subtropical countries, of course. A species of Plasmodium cause malaria and are transmitted by the bite of the female Anopheles mosquito. Of course, some other mosquitoes can also transmit the disease rather. They reproduce asexually by schizogony in human liver cells and red blood cells. Remember, that special type of asexual reproduction inside liver cells and inside red blood cells is known as schizogony. But also, this is asexual, but also they reproduce also sexually by formation of gametes. And these gametes, as far as Plasmodium is concerned, the gametes are produced inside the human circulatory system. The gametes, female gametes, are picked by mosquito while they are feeding, female Anopheles mosquito, while feeding in human blood. If the person is infected with Plasmodium, the gametes are picked from the circulatory system. These gametes come together, fuse, in order to form zygote inside the mosquito's gut, GI tract, you see. Therefore, reproduce asexually by schizogony and sexually by formation of gametes, gametogony. There are 5 Plasmodium parasite species that cause malaria in humans. These are the 5 varieties that are common in different geographical areas. The most deadly is falciparum, Plasmodium falciparum. Of course, if we consider around the world, when it comes to sub-Saharan Africa, the number 1 killer is Plasmodium falciparum. When we consider totally the globe or worldwide, Plasmodium falciparum and Plasmodium vivax are the 2 number 1 killers. You can see here. And 2 of these species, Plasmodium falciparum and Plasmodium vivax, pose the greatest threat, yes, around the world. P. falciparum is the deadliest malaria parasite and the most prevalent on the African continent. It has killed millions of people sub-Saharan Africa. Plasmodium vivax is the dominant malaria parasite in most countries outside of sub-Saharan Africa. Yes, we have said. Again, let's come to the reproduction. They involve 2 hosts. 2 hosts are involved, so that these parasites undergo what is known as alternation of hosts. One is vertebrate host, the other is invertebrate. Therefore, they alternate between these 2 hosts. The other is they have sexual stage there and sexual stage here. There is alternation of generation. What generation? Sexual generation, asexual generation. Therefore, they have sexual stage, asexual stage in the different types of hosts. Vertebrate host or the intermediate host, in this case man is known as the intermediate host, where the asexual stage occurs. You see, I've tried to mention it in the liver cells and red blood cells of humans. The sporozoid undergoes special type of asexual reproduction known as schizogony to produce merozoites. Okay? Then the parasite multiplies by schizogony, and there is formation of male-female gametes inside our circulatory system finally, which is known as gametogony. Gametogony. The gametes fuse to produce again sporozoites in the females Anopheles mosquito. This is the life cycle, of course. Invertebrate host, which is also known as the definitive host, is the female Anopheles mosquito, where the sexual stage occurs, where union of male and female gametes end in the formation of sporozoites, and the process is known as sporogony. And generally, the following are the key stages in the life cycle of Plasmodium. One is sporozoid stage. Let us start from this sporozoid stage. The cycle begins when an infected mosquito bites a healthy human, injecting into the circulatory system sporozoids into the bloodstream. Liver stage. The sporozoids travel to the liver, where they invade liver cells and multiply sexually, which is known as schizogony, forming merozoites. The third stage, blood stage. Merozoites are released into the bloodstream from liver cells, where they invade red blood cells, leading to further asexual reproduction. Another asexual stage of reproduction in the red blood cells. Still schizogony. Now they multiply inside red blood cells and they break open red blood cells, come out of red blood cells. It is during this time the common symptoms of malaria are seen. What are these symptoms? Let us see. Let us stop the different stages here and let us see the symptoms. You see, symptoms: fever, chills, fatigue, headache. These are the most common symptoms of malaria. And of course, this can progress to severe complications affecting organs like the brain and even the kidneys. It's serious. Serious, I'll tell you. How can Plasmodium affect the kidney? Of course, it's not directly the parasite that affects the kidney. Rather, when this parasite multiplies inside red blood cells and breaks red blood cells open. You see, you know what are there in the red blood cells? Hemoglobin. They release hemoglobin. Hemoglobin released from red blood cells into the circulation means when the blood goes taking this free hemoglobin into the kidneys, some kidney cells love to digest hemoglobin. They consider as hemoglobin is something food to them. They digest, break down by their enzymes, release the iron from red blood cells, free the iron. Free iron in your body means damaging, because free iron can cause chain reaction, unwanted chain reaction, which can damage many parts of these kidney cells, like the cell membrane. They can go to the nucleus and damage DNA. The cytoplasmic organelles are also affected by the toxic effect of iron. And finally, this may lead to severe damage to the kidney, these smart organs, which could finally lead to kidney failure, irreversible kidney failure. That is the reason. Now let's proceed. Gametocyte stage. Gametocyte stage. Some merozoids develop into gametocytes. Where? Inside the circulatory system of the human. And these gametocytes, male and female gametocytes, are picked or taken by mosquito, the female Anopheles mosquito, during a blood meal. Then, inside the mosquito stage, inside the mosquito, gametocytes fuse to form zygote, which develop into new sporozoids. You see, again the sporozoids are injected while the mosquito is feeding another healthy human. Injects the merozoids. Merozoids go to the liver cells, multiply by schizogony, produce merozoids. Merozoids come out and go into circulation, enter into red blood cells, further multiply asexually, and break open red blood cells, release hemoglobin. This is toxic. Okay, the mosquito stage, I've said. Then, this is a diagram, a rough diagram that shows you the life cycle of Plasmodium in the mosquito. The upper diagram shows the mosquito. You can see mosquito picks the male and female gamete while feeding blood from human circulatory system. They fuse to produce zygote. There is fertilization here. Fertilization occurs inside the GI tract of the female Anopheles mosquito. This fertilized egg, which is zygote now, multiplies by a process known as fission, sexually multiplies to produce multiple sporozoids, which is known as this multiplication process is known as sporogony. they produce sporozoids. Sporozoids migrate to the salivary gland of the mosquito. When the mosquito tries to suck blood, sporozoids come out of the proboscis mouth part of the mosquito and mix up into our blood. This is the infection. Sporozoids are the infective stage. Inside our liver cell, sporozoids go into liver cells, multiply by schizogony to produce merozoids. Merozoids again invade red blood cells, again multiply sexually, come out breaking red blood cells. This is the critical moment that the common symptoms are seen in individuals when red blood cells are broken and releasing hemoglobin. You see, therefore, this is fatal. If not treated, of course, there it is fatal or killer. Thank you very much. I'm done with this part of my lecture. Please don't forget sharing, liking, and subscribing my videos. And please also don't forget putting your comments underneath. Thank you very much. God bless you.